Hi there, this is Crystal and I'm off to Shambhala here on YouTube. And this is part 2 of another video called eBay Brands to Know and Is It Possible to Make $2,000 a Day on eBay, or some kind of title like that. There will be a link either on the screen or down below in the description to that video if you haven't seen that one. But right at the end of that video, my time was running out and I was about to tell you guys what the shop was that I was previewing or watching, because they're doing phenomenal and I find it very inspiring. One of the name of the store is right here. It's Shop Melee or Melee or Melee Inc. Or no, that's not the name of the store. I'm sorry, that's their handle. The store is actually Shop Melee, not Shop Melee Inc. And it's separated. But if you search stores, if you don't know how to do it, oh darn it, I didn't get the screen. Right up here where this, next to the search bar, there's a little thing that says advanced, and you click on that, and then over on the side menu you'll see look for stores, and then you type in a name. If you just type in MELEE, it'll be the first one that pops up. And then you can click on it and go to the store, and then you want to go to a screen. Let's go back over here. Let's hope it works. Then in order to see the sold items, if you don't know how to see the sold items, you want to click on one of the products in the store. If you're, because you'll be in the store and you won't be able to just see the sold items from the store, but you just click on the item and you come over here to see other items. So there's a difference between going to the store and seeing other items. If you go to see other items, then way over here you can go down and click on the sold listings, and it'll show just the sold listings for that store. But anyways, I just ran across them like 4 or 5 days ago, and I'm like, wow, it really is worth it to just stock up your store. And I really love doing the clothes, and I am totally fine with just amassing a bunch of clothing and just having it sit there, and then when it sells, it's so easy to ship clothes. I can do probably 10 or 15 clothing items. You know what, let's go conservative, 10 clothing items in an hour. And maybe if I had different equipment, or I might be able to figure out a way to even speed up the process. But so if you're selling 30 to 50 clothing items a day like this store is, then you might spend 3 hours on shipping. But you know what? That's like really good money. Like, they're making a couple $1,000s a day. Like, I'll do shipping for 3 or 4 hours a day for that amount of money. Now, this store, okay, well, you know what? Before I talk about the store, since we're on this screen now, and they don't even take good pictures. Like, look at this picture. Like, I would never put a picture up like this. Like, I crop my pictures. This one's blurry, and of course now that zoom thing is in the way. And it's not doing zoom, so you can't really see, of course. Oh, there we go. Let's do it again. There we go. Look how blurry that is. It's just amazing. Now, it is a good brand, and so that's one of the cool things about getting good brands. And the other thing is, this is a kind of a thing, the type of thing that people can really, they're like, yeah, that's cool, I like it. It's pretty easy to see that it's a likable item, and they pretty much know what a denim jacket is pretty much like. So, but again, I'm a little bit more of a perfectionist. I wouldn't accept that. But I guess maybe they're listing 100 things a day and they got like a bunch of people working on it, and it's just get it done, not worry about perfection. And it's working for them. Although I wonder if it could work even better if they took a. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? But the other thing I notice about their strategy is like everything is on sale. And they have it up at super duper high prices with like 40% off. Now, again, I've only been watching for a week, so I don't know if they'll do. One week they do 30%, one week they do 40%. I know some people just are always running a new sale like once a week or once every 10 days. Or they'll have a sale for 1 week on and then 1 week off and whatever. I don't know. But they do sales a lot, and they seem to do pretty good with that. I haven't really seemed to do that much better with sales in my store, but again, I don't have 26,000 items in my store. I have an average of maybe 350 to 400. I'm trying to get that number up. I think with the clothing, that's really helpful. But I just find that people just are happy to buy stuff. They're just, I don't know, if they want it, they want it. And I just put it up for a decent price, but not super cheap either. So anyways, and then they also do this other thing here where they get extra 20% off when you spend $25 or more. And I'm not sure if the $15, the low level store, can do that. That's what I have. I think that might be the $50 level and up to be able to do that. I'm not sure, but this is something think would be worth doing for sure, to get people to buy more than one item. Because, I mean, come on, let's face it, that's great. So, yeah, it seems like that's their strategy. And, of course, they're doing fixed price, which I know a lot of eBayers are always talking about. So let's go back over to their sold page. So, yeah, this is just for today. Today is February 10th, 2016. And it is, I don't know what time it is where they're at. They're in Illinois. I'm in Phoenix. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And they already, I haven't even counted these. But this is all February 10. Oops, come on. My computer always gets glitchy when I'm doing Screencast-O-Matic. Actually, it gets glitchy even when I'm not doing Screencast-O-Matic. Either something needs to be done or I need a new computer. I think that's it. No, still going. That's still just for today. Okay, and these people, like, I think I got it in the last video. They have 26,000 items, and not all of the items are clothing. But, okay, there we are. Now we're in February 9th. That's yesterday. Yeah. So I don't know how many that was. That was 20. They're probably going to do another 20 or 30. But on February 8th, they did, I think I counted somewhere around 60 items, and the total gross sales with free shipping was around $2,600. So I really don't think the shipping, let's just say the average shipping was, so, it might have been, they might have been getting that new first class $260 rate, and then some of them might have been around $4. They might have done some priority. I'm just going to go with like an average shipping rate of $4. And they had 60 items, 4 times 60 that sold. So the shipping costs were probably at $240. Let's just go with $260 for the shipping costs. And then also on their storefront, I should have had that up. They do say that they do consignment. So that is probably how they're getting a lot of these good name brands. Plus they're in Illinois. That might make a difference. I'm in Phoenix, and while we have people that wear expensive clothing and we have expensive clothing stores, it's just not the same as the more, I don't know what you want to call them, the more densely populated, more long time established cities like San Francisco and LA and Chicago area and New York, and I'm not sure what other cities. We're in the Sun Belt. Anyways, but that's what they're doing. They're doing consignments. So even if you cut that number in half, let's just pretend they're doing half, that there's probably still making at least $1,200 to $1,500 a day. And then they might have expenses, like they probably have some kind of a warehouse. They probably have people they have to pay. So if you're making that kind of money, you can afford to pay people to do this stuff. And, the company's probably making, I would guess, clearing $500 a day. Like worst case scenario, like after paying for their rent and their utilities and employees and eBay fees and all that. So they're probably making $15,000 to $20,000 a month, and who knows what else this company has going on. So I guess the whole point is if you don't think there's money in clothes, I am here to tell you that there is, and maybe you don't need to have 26,000 items in your store in order to make that kind of money, but I'm seeing it as a real possibility that you can make some serious money. And if you enjoy doing the clothes, like I really enjoy doing them way more than I like doing. I don't mind doing coffee makers, but they're kind of it's stuff you have to test. And then if I have a problem, it's usually on something like that. Like, well, I haven't had a problem on coffee maker, but what did I have recently? Some phones. Like I've sold 3 or 4 phone sets, cordless phone sets over the last couple years, and they've always been fine, and I just didn't really check them. I just sort of hoped for the best. And I got positive reviews on all of them, but this last one I sent out, she was like, oh, the thing makes this terrible buzzing noise, and I just gave her money back. But I had gotten that one for free anyways, so I tried. I took a risk. But I don't like, people complain about the time and the tediousness of doing clothing, but I find it more tedious to do, electronic gadgets and all of these miscellaneous things, because you got to test them, you got to clean them a lot of times. The tags take time to take off. They usually have tags stuck on them, and you got to get the goo gone and scrape them off. And then you never have like 10 coffee makers all at once, or 10 cool little Wedgwood figurines or whatever it is that you're selling. So they're all like, when you go to list them, you can't just have the same category every time. Whereas like with clothes, you can have like 10 blouses, 10 sweatshirts, 10 sweaters, women's sweaters. Then you can have 10 men's sweaters. You can have 10 men's shorts. And you don't have to keep changing the category every time. And that saves actually a lot of time. That 30 seconds or 50 seconds that it takes to click the button and wait for that to happen, that speeds things along. And then I think it's like the stuff comes in, you take pictures, you're done. With all that other stuff, you got to test it and clean it usually, and it takes up a lot of space. You can fit like a lot of items in one box with the clothing. Yeah, definitely a doable business. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you stopping by.